disrupting your life and beginning to look at the disruptions in your life and what do we do with that? How do we handle that? And I'm reminded of the words of James Weldon Johnson. And I want some of you who are not familiar with, I want you to listen to the words. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod. When hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We've come over a way that with tears have been watered. We've come treading a path through the blood of the slaughter. Everything that we experience, everything that we now are taking advantage of, somebody paid a price for it. And one of the most important things that we have to do on an ongoing basis, and I want you to write this down and to honor this moving forward after hearing all the speakers and after this experience, upgrade yourself. I was looking at my computer and asked, are you ready for an update? You want it now or later? And I push now. Usually I say later because it usually takes time. And we really should update our knowledge on a regular basis, update our vision of ourselves on a regular basis, upgrade the vision and the goals and the dreams that we have on a regular basis. Why is that? What's the purpose of updating? Because where you are right now, that level of impact and that place where you are right now and the skill set that got you there, that has expired. And you got to update your skills, your knowledge. That's why Einstein said the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. One of the most important things that you're doing, and I congratulate all of you that have been listening and watching, that we are made in the likeness and image of God. Think about that. We're made in the likeness and image of God and been given authority and dominion over everything. Notice, didn't say some things, over everything on the face of the earth. Think about that. Then why is it that most of us die unlived lives? Why is it that Dr. Miles Monroe for years said, rob the cemetery of your gifts and of your talents and of your abilities and of your skills and your leadership and your book and your music and the impact of your life? Why do you say that? Why do we have to say that over and over and over again? Because we have been programmed and are being programmed every day. And so we have to every day stop, check ourselves, and update and upgrade our vision of ourselves, our knowledge, and write this down, our skill set. That not only because of things we have gone through, but things that we are dealing with right now. The goalpost has been pushed back, and there are things that are taking place around politically to oppress, to deny, to exclude our participation. This is a different space. And here's the success of what's going on right now and why you're watching me and why your voice and your story and your knowledge is so important. We have been programmed to be spectators, to be fans. You look at the number of people that watch a summit and listen to speakers sharing their story and their experiences and how they got through and how they got over and how they got to the other side. Look at the number of eyeballs, the number of people who view those. And then you look at the number of people who view old basketball games, boxing matches, football, various acts of foolishness on the internet. The numbers are just minuscule based upon what you're watching right now. And I want you to know You're different. The fact that you're watching me, the fact that you listen to the speakers, you are different. The average person not watching this, they're looking at stuff. Who's the GOAT? And we're going to share, we've been sharing with you how to become the greatest of all times in your own life. Most people in their own lives, they are rookies. They're living a life of mediocrity. Our goal is to help you to begin to not die with your music still in you, as Shakespeare would say. It's about the music. It's about the fire. It's about your mindset of living your life on your terms. Most people aren't doing that because we have been programmed to be fans, to be spectators. And so what happens is that you can get so busy and consumed, and I had to look at myself. I said, wait a minute, what am I supposed to be doing right now? My life has changed. You used to think people in their 40s were old. Now, I'm 77. I'm old as Methuselah. Come on, huh? So who does 77? Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. I get up real early before I get started. I get my little mascara out and I start covering the gray hair. I don't believe in gray hair. No, homie, don't be playing that, honey. I'll be covering up. Why? My kids say, Daddy, you would look so distinguished with your gray hair. I'm not trying to look distinguished. Hello? I'm trying to look young. Just because I'm 77 don't mean I have to look 77. I don't have to. How many of you agree that I don't have to look like I got one foot on a banana peeling and the other one in the graveyard? If you can feel a brother up in here, just put some fire in the comment section so I can see it. Or say yes, yes, yes. Say yes 3 times. I ain't playing with you. I'm coming for you this afternoon. I'm coming for you. Did you hear me? So we got to get a checkup from the neck up, because stuff's living at a time where we have instruments, algorithms that know more about us than we know about ourselves. But it's not just the knowing that's dangerous, but the manipulation that's dangerous. I saw something about how to reduce inflammation in your body. I'm a 4th stage cancer conqueror. So I said, let me see what that is. And sure enough, it was an infomercial. It was a commercial about a product, all right? Do you know, I timed it. I got numerous commercials coming on my phone, on my computer, about how to reduce inflammation in your body with herbs, with food, with exercise, with a variety of things. How is that possible? Because they're listening to us. Write this down. Behavioral marketing. They're watching our choices. Do you mind if we follow where you go? When you go to another website looking for something, they have a database and they can distinguish that and pull that stuff out and start marketing and pushing products to you and giving it to advertisers, giving it to corporations. Here's what Les is interested in. He just put something in dealing with his inflammation. And we're going to start marketing to him about that. He also just put something that he wants a 6-pack. He says he only has 1 pack covering up 5 packs. Do we have something for him? Yes, I got something for him. Good. All right. Here's his email. Come on. If this is automated, this is not driven by human beings. This is automated. They're making money off us while they sleep. And while you're looking at this, it's very important. What you tune into, you turn into. The reason that most people are fans and watching, who's the GOAT? Is it LeBron or is it Michael Jordan? Who's the GOAT? Couldn't even afford tickets to the game. Come on. All right, come on. The GOAT. Ooh, isn't that just cute? Isn't that? Come on, huh? We're talking about looking at our lives and checking ourselves, because sometimes you can confuse being busy with being productive and being profitable. But here's something else. And I think it happens to you after 40. Here's something else. Time picks up speed after 40. I'm telling you what I know. I'm 77. I'm telling you, once you get 40, you don't get 30 days out of the month. You might get 2 weeks if you are lucky. And listen to me right now. Listen to me. If you got some big bills, guess what? You now don't get 14 days, all right? Now you get about 8. So wait a minute, did I just pay that bill yesterday? Come on! I mean, life has shifted. It has picked up speed. And so in order to navigate this, in order to live a life of love, of mind, of harmonious relationships, an achievement-driven, heart-centered life, you have to check yourself, update your knowledge and your skill set. And here's something else that's major. You have to look at your relationships. I want you to say to yourself every day, why? Every day. Can you just say it one time? No. McDonald's know we know where they are. And every day there's a commercial. Why? They program us to go get their products. They program us to create a thirst. Write this down, the thirst. By saying what I'm going to share with you, it will create a thirst and a hunger to make it happen. It will activate something that's called the reticular activating system. It was designed to help us to begin to identify the things that we want and how to achieve them. They created a missile that was designed, and I want you to follow me on this. It's been a minute since I talked about this. They created a military device that was designed after the human mind. It was called the teleological missile. The teleological missile, once it got a target in sight, the teleological missile, when it was released, if the target went to the right, the teleological missile, this smart missile, would go to the right. This is technology that has never been done before. If the target goes to the left, the teleological missile would go to the left. Keep in mind, it's designed after the human mind. Listen to me closely. The teleological missile, once it gets a target in sight that it is supposed to hit, when it's released, and if the target vanishes, the self mechanism in the teleological missile will trigger it to self-destruct. Whoa, whoa. Did you hear me? It's designed after the human mind. We are here for a reason. When someone can destroy your identity, how you see yourself, which takes away the purpose and the meaning of your life and the direction of your life, hello, I'll wait. As Dr. Della Tiro would say, yeah, when you see people, see, life is for living. And you're an energy source, and that energy is going to be used. It will be used destructively or productively. A friend of mine, he was telling me about his mother who was on drugs for years. And he got her to go into a drug program. And when she got out, after a short time, she went back on drugs again. He said, Why would you go to a drug program to get off these drugs and now you back on them again? She said, wait a minute. Don't jump on me about this. This is my life. I only went into that drug program to stop y'all from getting on my last nerve, aggravating me and nagging me that I need to go get some help. I didn't want to go, but I decided to do it because I was tired of y'all. Y'all thought I should do it. I think my life is fine, and I'm doing what I want to do. Hello. That's my twin brother Wesley would say. See, people who engage in self-destructive behavior, one, they have a negative image of themselves. People that are listening, you that are listening to me now, each person, every speaker that you hear, the words that they speak, remember what you tune into, you turn into, is designed to enhance, to empower, to expand your vision of yourself beyond your mental conditioning, beyond your circumstances, beyond the adversities that you have been or are experiencing. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. So I want you to write this down. The rest of my life will be the best of my life. I want you to write that down and I say it every day. The rest of my life, when I first get up in the morning, oh, thank you, Lord, for a brand new day. All things work together for good for those who love God. Don't mean that every day would be a good day, but there's some good in every day. And the rest of my life will be the best of my life. If you agree with that, if you feel that, if you want to declare that for yourself, he said, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. Come on, somebody. You want to be an advertising agent for yourself. You are the GOAT in your life. And you don't want to be a mediocre player in your life. You don't want to be a spectator and a fan in your life. You don't want to be seated in the bleachers in your life. You want to make actively in the mindset of Abraham Lincoln. He said the future belonged to those who create it. You want to create it. I'm so fired up, my nose running. I can't believe this. Hey, come on now. Of all the times, this is so embarrassing. I'm turning red, but y'all can't see it. Oh, Tyrone, you got to help me out. I was talking to Tyrone. We're doing a wedding rehearsal. Tyrone is my squirrel friend. And so I was just fitting him for his tuxedo. And he met Trina, his fiance Trina, and so we were doing a rehearsal because I'm doing the officiations for it. So this is Trina. Y'all haven't seen Trina, but she gorgeous, honey. Miss Trina, come on, baby, don't be shy. So this wedding, we're orchestrating this. When you've been locked up too long, you start talking to squirrels and conducting marriage ceremonies. You can't make this stuff up. Who marries squirrels? Okay, here's something else. You look at your life, write this down, realign yourself. Realign yourself. That's what people don't need to be in your life. I can't believe this. Of all the time. For my mustache to be messing up. Oh. Is it gone? Who does this? You are crazy. I know. Realign yourself. Get some friends who love squirrels. That would be me. See, there's some people you need to get out of your life. Why? Because they will compromise your energy and your power. And when they take away your power and your vision of yourself, you will unconsciously, getting on this path, having nothing to aim for, engage in self-destructive behavior. It might be alcohol. It might be procrastination. It might be surrendering to fear. It might just be not doing the things that you need to do. It might be causing you to lose your focus. This is a time that you want to keep the main thing the main thing. This is a time that you want to be persistent. This is a time that you have to be determined. I was talking to a man who lost his only son, and he said he went in a room and found his son dead in bed from an overdose. He said he fell down on his knees and screamed out to God. And at that point, he didn't want to live. His only son gone. And he heard my voice. If life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And he rolled on his back and he got up. Another gentleman, he was going through a tough time, had suicidal thoughts. And as a result of what he had gone through a divorce, lost his job, went through foreclosure. Seemed like his life had been turned upside down. But that wasn't enough. He lost someone that was very close to him who passed. And he heard my voice. Listen to this. Somebody saw him at an event. 3 weeks later, entertainment. They have these white parties where people dress in white and go out and they dance. They travel around the world to meet other people who dress in white and dance. And somebody asked, I didn't expect you to see you here. What are you doing here? He said, Les Brown said, you will get through this. As I was in the arms of grief and feeling sorry for myself and being depressed, he said, sooner or later, you're going to get past this pain. And he said, I decided to make it sooner. Come on, somebody. Don't you make me get up and dance for you. Don't you? Come. I decided to make it sooner. Come on, bust the move. Mm-hmm. Yes, come on. Sooner or later, you will get through this. I decided to make it sooner. Write this down. We make decisions, and our decisions create our reality. That created a shift for him. The shift from grief to living life now. All of us sometimes need a word to shift our thinking, need a word to remind us that we have greatness in us. We have abilities and talents and dreams. We have some good stuff in us that God placed there. All of us have been chosen. If you weren't here now, there would be a missing piece to the puzzle of who is required to help make this world a better place. That's why Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. If you agree with that, I want you to put some fire in the comment section. If you agree with that we're here to live a life of meaning, of purpose. We're here to live a life of impact. I'm calling a cousin that I did not know I had, and to have her take me to go see the grave site of my birth father that I have never seen. I've seen the birth site of my grandmother, Beulah Rucker, and to Dorothy Bell Rucker, my birth mother. And because I now realize they had to do what they had to do. Had they not taken themselves down to Miami to give birth to me and my brother and give us to Mamie Brown, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I'm a different person if I'd been raised in Gainesville, Georgia. Nothing wrong with Gainesville, Georgia. But because of the impact, the influence, the example, the love, the sacrifice of Mamie Brown, she took care of us like she gave birth to us. That inspired me. That brought something out of me. You know, she adopted altogether 7 children. I was among the 7. And I heard this guy, Ed Milet, said, usually in families, there's one who will show a level of gratitude. There's one who, even though born in the same situation, under the same roof, they are raised, ate from the same table. But there is one who will be dramatically different. There's one who has an expanded vision of themselves. And even if you are only a child, you are the one. I can't tell you, only child, spoiled brats that I've known over the years that had everything, and didn't appreciate it. Had a mindset of entitlement. I had one of my daughters check me. I'm not going to say her name is there. And I was telling her some stuff I wanted her to do for me, and she didn't do it. I said, hey, what's up with that? She said, you act like your children owe you something. At first, my feelings were hurt. But then I thought, my children don't owe me nothing. They didn't ask to be born. No, they owe me nothing. And so that was a wake-up call. You better take care of yourself. Young man, I don't call myself an old man, young man. Yeah, and hold yourself to a higher standard. Don't be like the other people in your age category, acting like they're winding down. People say, you know, at this stage of your life, you're older now. I said, no, you get older when you stop working, when you stop contributing, when you stop being an active force in life, when you allow the disruptions in your life to allow you to feel like you are old. No, I'm still growing. Age is not determined by the number of Earth days that you have. It's determined, are you still relevant? Are you still making things happen? Are you still participating in life? Are you still engaged? The reason that you're watching me now is there's something in your heart that says, I am not going to die an unlived life. No. And if there's something that someone says at this summit, I know I got some music in me. I know I got some good stuff in me. If there's something said by these speakers, by these coaches, by these trainers, if something is said that's God guided, that will inspire me to get out of my history and live out of my imagination. He said, I'll give you all your eyes can see, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to be present. Present. I'm ready. I'm taking notes up in here. Oh, my time has run out. So I want to say you have something special. You have greatness in you. I learned from my mother when they said to her at the M&M cafeteria, Mamie, I'm so sorry. You can't do this work anymore. Being on your feet all day long. I know you're giving it your best effort. But Mr. Morrison, who loved Mama very much, It's just too much for you now. And he gave her a check, gave her a bonus, and just said, we're gonna have to replace you. And I learned something from my mother when she came home. She was ironing, and she sang to herself. My mother used to sing at nightclubs, but this one song when she was ironing and preparing us for school the next day was one of her favorite songs. Fly the ocean in a silver plane, see the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember, darling, you belong to me. I used to love to hear her sing that song. She would always sing that while she was ironing. And then she got an idea. She said, wait, I'm not working at the M&M cafeteria anymore, downtown Miami. I can find out neighbors who need some ironing done. And I'll iron for them, and they'll pay me. I'll find neighbors who would like to have a sweet potato pie. I'll bake some sweet potato pies and sell slices of sweet potato pie for a dime or a quarter. I'll cook for them. And so what I learned from Mama, she didn't miss a beat. When you got a goal, when things happen, when there are interruptions, when life has been snatched out from under you, don't miss a beat. Find a way to restart your life. Find a way to do something else. See, one of the things that allowed me to become successful as a speaker, people ask me all the time, and sometimes I would vary how I respond. How did you get here? How'd you overcome the odds? What did you have to do? You know, one of the things I did, and I want you to keep this in mind, be stubborn about your goals, but flexible about your approach. I had people with PhDs and MBAs, and we would walk around this big park in Detroit, talking to each other about our goals and dreams, and something happened. I looked at them because of their credentials, because of their education, because of their college training and corporate experience. And you know something? They quit. You know why? They knew more than me. So sometimes you have to be intelligently ignorant. Based upon the approach that we were using, we failed at making a breakthrough. So they gave themselves a limited time, looking for a sign. If you want to create something, is there something that you want to do? You got to give it some time. A watch pot never boils. You got to give it some time. You've got to be willing to put in the work, and if, particularly in multi-level marketing, you don't want to raise your hand and look to see how well you're doing for a minimum of 2 years. When a home is being built or a building, they spend a lot of time on just the foundation. And so they stopped showing up for our walk. And pretty soon, I found myself walking by myself. Let me share something with you. When you have goals and dreams and you're going in a certain direction, that it's lonely at the top. You're going to find yourself in certain situations by yourself. I can tell you this. They stopped coming out to walk with me, and they went back looking for a job. That was not me. That was not an option for me. That's a non-negotiable. No! I'm going to speak. I'm going to find a way. So you have to be stubborn about your goals and flexible about your approach. And so when it didn't happen as soon as they wanted it to happen, they stopped. I kept going. And that's what you've got to do. Don't stop. Keep going. That's what my mother did. She lost her job at the M&M cafeteria. She couldn't stand on her feet all day long, every day, because of arthritis in her ankles and in her knees. And so she didn't miss a beat. She started ironing and washing our neighbors' clothes and baking sweet potato pies and cooking for some of them. Don't stop. Stay busy. How did you know, Mamie, you can raise 7 children by yourself? I just believed the Lord will make a way somehow. And I'm saying to you, if you keep going, if you keep looking for a way, where there's a will, there's a way. If you keep moving, if you keep falling forward, if you keep getting back up, something's going to happen. Bob Marley said something I like. He said, you never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have. You never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have. It's your only option. And you'll discover, if you don't panic, if you don't run, you'll discover you are stronger than you give yourself credit for being. Don't surrender. Don't give in. Just keep moving forward. Stay busy, moving in the right direction, looking, opening doors, knocking on doors, finding a way out of no way. And here's something else. Because you don't know what to do, so what? Figure it out. Everything that exists, at one time, nobody knew what to do. I remember as a kid, we would say, oh, you got as much chance doing that as a man going to the moon. To illustrate the impossibility of that. We don't say that now. Somebody figured it out. Somebody said, wait a minute, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. And as you look at yourself, look at your goals, you might be experiencing a big setback. Your business has perhaps been devastated by the coronavirus. You just saying, my God, first of all, that's a blow when you have to let people go and you don't have money to pay the bills because the business has been interrupted. Oh, we can open up and people can come in, or we have to close down. And then you say, wait a minute, opening up, all right, and I want my business, but I'm not willing to die for my business. Got to figure out another way. And this is this place where we are. That many times in life, when you're faced with a God-ordained opportunity, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges, a lot of people give up. They surrender. They run with their tails between their legs. It's a God-ordained opportunity. There are opportunities here in the midst of crises. 3 types of people going to come out of this: millionaires, billionaires, and witnesses, people who stood around and watched. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And whatever, no test, no testimony, whatever is in front of you, you have the power to handle it. But I don't know what to do. Okay, got that. You don't know what to do. Figure it out. You don't have to know what to do. Walk by faith and not by sight. Figure it out. Everything that exists, somebody was willing to put in the energy and the time to figure it out. Everybody. When John F. Kennedy in 1961 called his cabinet and they came in a room and they were going to decide, how can we beat the Russians to the moon? Werner von Braun, one of the most brilliant German scientists of that time, he looked at Werner. What can we do to beat the Russians to the moon? And Werner said 5 things. Everybody was prepared to start typing. This is before computers. Everybody was prepared to take a lot of notes. Everybody was looking for a long lecture that would take hours to determine how much staff and how much money, what the budget will be, what's the process. Everybody was, but they were set up for that. They went there. It was like a retreat, a mastermind.
How to stay positive in and amongst this madness?
We have to keep our minds focused. We have to have a program and a ritual that you engage in when you first get up in the morning. When I first get up in the morning, number one, I'm glad I'm here. Okay? That there's not a chalk outline around my body. I've got breath, and I say, all things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. And I have an affirmation that I recite as well, is, Lord, whatever I face today, together, you and I can handle it. That's number one. Number two, I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for. I just spend time, unplug from life. Don't look at the computer. Don't look at the phone or television. Just thinking about the things that I'm grateful for. And I write down 7 things. 7 is my lucky number. After I do that, I review the 7 things that I want to get out of the day. And those 7 things are things I write the night before. Most people try and just get through the day, but people who are winners, people who have goals and dreams, they have an agenda for their lives, and they prepare that agenda the day before. If you don't have an agenda for your life, you will be a part of somebody else's agenda. The things that I want to accomplish, you're a part of my agenda today, and we were unstoppable in getting together. You've been working on this. I love you. You are hungry to connect with me. And then I listen to motivational messages. I encourage people to watch. There's several videos I have on YouTube. One is called It's Possible. Another one is called You Deserve. And one that you spoke of, Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. By listening to motivational messages before you watch the news or anything else, what happens is that whatever we watch the first 20 minutes when we wake up in the morning, it affects the spirit of your day. And so therefore, we want to set our minds up to serve us. We have a mind. Our mind does not possess us, but most people are controlled by their minds. And so if you don't program your mind will be programmed. And so you have to have an intentional effort to put the things in your mind that you want in there. People say garbage in, garbage out. No, that might work for computers, but that does not work for human beings. Garbage in, garbage stays. And it shows up in your attitude and your behavior and your vision of yourself and how you see yourself and how you perform. And then I set out, and it's an interesting thing, the coronavirus, what I'm saying to people, live your life now, live your dream now. Life is on your side, and to prove it, the fact that you're still alive. There are a lot of people, they're gone, they're out of here. We just lost a very talented actor. He's 43 years old, and that's Chadwick Boseman. 43 years old. I have t-shirts older than 43. Okay. And so this thing now, live your life now, because tomorrow is not promised. Now is all that we have. Death taking people out, young and old, this coronavirus. So to me, I'm encouraging people to keep social distancing from people and from the refrigerator. I'm working on a 6-pack. I only got 5 packs right now. You know what I mean? No, I have 1 pack covering up 6 packs. So now I'm working on those others.
I'm glad it's not just me then, Les.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Yeah. And because we don't know how much time we have. So work in the now. In the book, You've Got to Be Hungry, that I completed, The Greatness Within to Win, I talk about the H, and the H stands for live heart-centered life. What's in your heart? And the U stands for urgency. Do it now. I remember being at a table in Las Vegas, and the late great singer Frank Sinatra was there. And he told a young man, he said, live each day as if it were your last, because one day it will be. And so, therefore, I'm encouraging people, as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, do what you can with what you have, where you are, and stay focused on that. There are people who are very fearful right now. And here's something I love that Zig Ziglar said. In most fearful situations, the majority of people, they forget everything and run. But there's a small number who face everything and rise. And I submit that the people that listen to you, that they face everything and rise, because they are being mindful of the input of information that will allow them to move their lives forward. Life is full of all type of challenges. Viktor Frankl calls it unavoidable suffering. We can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we focus on. So when we make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to program our minds positively, to focus on our goals and dreams. Don't look to the right, don't look to the left. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of love and of sound mind. You can't be in a sound mind when you are running scared. I was in the house on the 3rd floor by myself, and I sneezed, and I ran down the steps. I said, wait a minute, that's my sneeze. But I still came back up, went in the bathroom, and got some Lysol to start spraying. I was scared out of my wits of my own sneeze. After a time when you sneeze, people say, God bless you. Now they look, say, you know what, can you move over there?
Brilliant. So, like, you're in a situation now where there's so much content out there with your name, whether it's quotes, sound bites, motivational videos, the books. There's so many amazing books. We're going to talk about one in particular in a minute. There's the YouTube videos, there's the courses, there's the trainings, there's everything. What is it that keeps you going and going and going and going? Because I believe in network marketing in particular, it's something that you start for the money you can make, but you stay for the person you become and the people that you can help become great. And every finish line is really just a new start line. What kind of has kept you going on through the years, even with all this amazing content out there? The legacy that you've got is just, it's just amazing already. I'm gonna be shouting your name for many, 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 many years. And now I've got proof that I was talking about him. I've got proof that I'm with him here as well, and I'm so grateful for that. What is it that keeps you going, and what would you tell someone else who's maybe thinking, I want to retire now, I want to quit now, I think my time's up now? What would you say to those people?
I would say to those people, we're still here to do some work. That when we look at what's going on now, our world has been turned upside down by the coronavirus. And tragically, thousands, millions of people are being impacted by this. And so the fact that we're able to open up our eyes, and I used to wonder why my mother would say, thank you, Lord, for waking me up in my right mind this morning. Well, now I understand. The fact that we are still here, we can make a difference. I believe that we were born to live a life that will outlive us, and that's major. I was at my desk, and my daughter called me one day, and she said, Daddy, are you busy? And I said, no. She said, whoa, I'm in traffic now, and the policeman is in the center of the road, and he's holding up traffic. I think there's going to be a funeral procession coming by. And sure enough, she said, oh, it is. And then she said, wow, oh my goodness. And I said, what's wrong? She said, a hearse came by and there was only one car behind it. She said, when I go, I want there to be a long line of cars coming behind the hearse because of the impact when I go. that people will come out and celebrate that I have left here, that the cemetery will be filled with people because of the quality of my life. And I do believe that we are here to live a life that will outlive us, to leave a legacy. And so as we look at ourselves, look at our goals and dreams, my goal every day, and I can share this with you based upon my own experience. People who have goals and dreams and have a sense of purpose in living a life of meaning and significance live longer than people who have nothing to wake up in the morning for. The people who have goals and dreams don't need an alarm clock to get up. They get up automatically. And so it gives momentum to your life. It keeps you younger. It allows you to have a sense of fulfillment and joy. And so I love that. I have 10 kids. The Lord said, be fruitful and multiply, and I took him seriously. I have 15 grandchildren and 4 great-grandsons. And so every day I look forward to getting up, spending time with them, my friends, and working on goals and dreams of helping people to live their dreams and leave a legacy, because that gives my life joy, and it gives me energy, and it keeps me young.